Hey there, this is Bryan Beller here for Gallien-Krueger, bassist for the Aristocrats and also bassist for Joe Satriani touring right now, and I'm here. My life as a professional musician is nuts, and it's great, but it's nuts. And it's funny because, you know, I'm 42 years old and this is what I always wanted, but it only kind of showed up in the last 2 years. So I'm like a 41-year-old overnight success, you know, on the road all the time. It's a real adjustment just from like touring every once in a while, you know, 6 weeks here, 6 weeks there, to like suddenly being on the road for like 8, 9, 10 months out of the year. The music and being able to do play what I love for a living has just been absolutely amazing. My first break in the industry came when I was at Berklee College of Music. I was just done, and my friend Joe Trotter, he moved to Los Angeles to be the drummer in Dweezil Zappa's band Z back in 1993. And then 6 months after he moved out there was a possibility for a bass audition. So I flew out on my own dime from Boston to audition, and thankfully I got it. And then 2 weeks later, I moved there. I left my band that I was in, I left my girlfriend at the time, I left a lease that I had, I just dropped everything and I just moved to LA. My current projects are working a lot with a band called the Aristocrats, which is a rock fusion instrumental power trio with Guthrie Govan on guitar and Marco Miniman on drums. I do my best to keep up with both of those amazing musicians. And we're touring the world right now in support of our second album, Culture Clash. And I also play bass with Joe Satriani right now in his touring band for the Unstoppable Momentum. So those two things have got me on the road this year like good 9, 10 months. Challenges you face as a musician, I think, is just kind of like keep showing up. Continue to make yourself available for the opportunity that comes up. Obviously be prepared, you know, learn your instrument, especially get your tone together. I'm a huge proponent of that. I practice sound and tone just as much, if not more, than my actual instrument. Because in the end of the day, your sound is really what goes with you. That's what everybody remembers. My beginning with GK is a really interesting thing because I used to work for a long time for another amplifier company. So I had a background of expertise of listening to amplifiers for a living. I was fortunate enough to be able to rent a big room and get like the best rigs from like 6 or 7 different companies and do the thing that everybody who goes to Guitar Center or Music Store would love to do, which is just like hear the top of the line stuff at full volume for like 6 hours. So I had this massive kind of rig shootout like they have in the magazines, and I have to tell you, GK blew everybody away. I was just amazed at how much faster, immediate, and more powerful the response was from GK than all the other good stuff out there. And there's a lot of good stuff out there. I'm not knocking everybody else, but it was just clear that GK was the one when I played along with them. The thing about gear is that ideally, it disappears on you. The idea isn't to like constantly be thinking about gear. That's what practicing is for. That's what, you know, research is for. That's what listening when you're by yourself is for. And once you do your research and your homework and you find the sound that matches the sound that you always heard in your head, then you don't have to think about gear anymore. When I started using GK, I started using it on stage with very, very complicated music. The Aristocrats is difficult music. And Mike Keneally, who I also play with, very difficult music. Regardless of how weird the sound was on stage, or how loud the drums were, or how messed up everything else was, I could always be near my rig and everything would sound great. And when that happens, I don't think about the gear. I just think about playing the music. So that's what GK does for me. I'm really picky, I'm a bit of a princess about sound, and GK makes those issues just disappear in my mind so I can just focus on music. And it's just been such a gift, I can't even tell you. This is Bryan Beller for Gallien-Krueger. Very happy to be here with you today. I hope you enjoy your time on the interwebs.